Joe Douglas, Jets general manager. Look, he said what he said, not as part of some broader collusive activity by the league to keep Lamar Jackson down. No. They are getting Aaron Rodgers. And finally, some progress is being made. Finally, the ice is beginning to thaw. And the indication yesterday came when Brian Gutekunst told reporters, the GM of the Packers, told reporters that the Packers are not necessarily going to get a first-round draft pick. I took that to mean, and for a change, my interpretation is accurate. They've come off their insistence on Jets' first-round pick this year.
Right.
If you're not necessarily going to get a first-round pick, that means maybe we'll get one, which means maybe they'll get one in 24 based upon what happens in 23. Charles Robinson of Yahoo laid it out last night. Second-round pick this year. See, I believe / kind of know the Jets are willing to send 2 second-round picks and be done with it. One this year, one next year. The Packers want the ability of that pick to escalate to a 1 based upon certain specific team and or individual performance triggers in 23. The Jets also want some protection in 25 if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play in 24. So something would go back. So it would be a 2 this year to the Packers, as much as a 1 next year. And then if Rodgers doesn't play for the Jets next year, something back to the Jets in 25. So at least we have a framework. Yeah. We have a structure. We have something. We have a runway. We didn't have a runway before. Now we have a runway, and we see if they can land a plane. And I think it's incredibly significant, Chris, that they've gotten to the point where the Packers have abandoned their desire. Stronger than desire. Yeah. It was insistence that they get the 13th overall pick this year as part of the package.
Yeah, there's the quote from Brian Gutekunst. Yeah, it was, not logical that they were asking for first-round picks for the situation that we've discussed so many times. 2 seconds, that makes sense. Maybe even something else added on to that. I would have a hard time pushing or giving a first-rounder for anything there, even if it meant like escalators. I'd go, no. You're done with him. There's no escalating. You've escalated that you don't want him. So we are giving you a second-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, right? And if I'll go to the Super Bowl, we'll throw in a 4th-round pick, and that adds on to it. It's something of that nature. But, yes, I'm with you, Mike, in the fact that, okay, that was huge news that they have backed off that. They finally realized or stopped being petty with Rodgers or whatever, that was never going to happen, and that it's honestly ultimately not going to make them look good because it's going to go, wait, we're asking for a first-rounder, and either you're not going to get anything what you want, or it's going to be less than that, and you're going to look like you lost the deal anyway. So start to change the public narrative a little bit and the expectation. Float it out there to the media like you were talking about last segment to see how people absorb it and take it on. And I think they're getting to that point there finally.
The fact that the Packers are so insistent on getting premier picks for a premier player is further proof that the players really are commodities. This is easy to say from our perspective. Hey, you're done with the guy. What's the big deal? But they view this player as a commodity that they own. They own the contract to Aaron Rodgers. So before we give this contract to another team, we want premier compensation in return, even if we are never going to employ him again. Even if it's all a ruse, a facade, he's not going to be on the team come week 1. We know it. He knows it. The Jets know it. But we're not just going to hand him over. This is a commodity that we want fair value for, even if we're not big picture entitled to it, even if we are being petty, even if we aren't doing right by a guy who has given us his entire adult life as a member of this team. Doesn't matter. We still are in a position where we're going to try to get something good from the Jets. And the good news for the Jets and the Packers is it sounds like maybe Roger Goodell did clunk some heads together. We were talking about it yesterday, and I wrote it after the show. And people, they just, sometimes people deliberately refuse to see the point. Oh, that's not the commissioner's job. Who gives a shit if it's not the commissioner's job? He does plenty of things that aren't his job if they're in advancement of the greater good. The greater good is we'd like to have this done so we can finalize our schedule for 2023. That's kind of important to us. Can we please get this done? You both know you're going to get it done. Would you please just get the damn thing done? So maybe there was a little visit to the Villa Suite in which the commissioner is staying at the Phoenix Biltmore.
Took your room.
Took
your room. It was yours. I heard NBC told me it was your room, and Roger took it. So you got screwed over. You're here. You're in West Virginia.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.